What if the biggest problem in your life right now isn't your situation, but the way you're thinking about your situation? What if the real exhaustion you feel every night isn't from work or responsibilities or people, but from the endless conversations happening inside your own head? Overthinking doesn't look dangerous. It looks responsible. It looks intelligent. It even feels productive. But overthinking is one of the most silent forms of self-torture. It keeps you trapped in imaginary futures, replaying past mistakes, analyzing conversations that are already over, and trying to control outcomes that haven't even happened yet. Think about the last time you lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. Your body was tired, but your mind wasn't. It replayed what you said earlier that day. It imagined what someone might have meant. It predicted what could go wrong tomorrow. And the strange part is, none of it was happening. You were safe. The room was quiet. Nothing was attacking you, yet your heart felt heavy. That's the power of unchecked thought. The truth is, overthinking is not about intelligence. Some of the smartest people struggle with it the most. Overthinking is about control. Your mind believes that if it can analyze something long enough, it can prevent pain. If it can replay every possible scenario, it can prepare for disaster. But here's the painful reality. No amount of thinking guarantees safety. It only guarantees exhaustion. Thousands of years ago, the Bible revealed something powerful that most people overlook. It says, "Take every thought captive." That single sentence contains life-changing wisdom. It implies something radical. Not every thought deserves to roam freely in your mind. Not every thought is trustworthy. Not every thought is you. Most people assume that because a thought appears, it must be valid. But thoughts are automatic suggestions generated by your brain. They are not commands. They are not prophecies. They are possibilities. Modern neuroscience confirms that the human brain produces thousands of thoughts every single day. Many of them are repetitive. Many of them are negative. Many of them are based on fear rather than fact. Your brain evolved to detect danger. It exaggerates risk to keep you safe. But in today's world, that same survival mechanism creates anxiety about emails, social interactions, finances, and future uncertainty. Your brain cannot always distinguish between a real physical threat and a social or imagined one. So when you overthink a conversation, your body reacts as if it's in danger. That's why overthinking feels physical. Your chest tightens. Your stomach knots. Your breathing changes. Your body enters fight or flight mode, not because something is happening, but because your mind created a scenario. You are reacting to imagination as if it were reality. Jesus addressed this long before psychology existed. Do not worry about tomorrow. Most people misunderstand this as unrealistic optimism, but it's actually mental discipline. Tomorrow does not exist yet. When you mentally live in tomorrow, you are investing emotional energy into something that has no physical form. Anxiety lives in the future. Regret lives in the past. Peace only exists in the present. Look closely at how often Jesus redirected attention to the present moment. Look at the birds. Consider the lilies. These weren't random poetic statements. They were grounding techniques. He was teaching people to shift their awareness away from imagined catastrophe and back to observable reality. Overthinking thrives in abstraction. Peace thrives in presence. Overthinking also disguises itself as preparation. You tell yourself, "I'm just thinking things through." But there's a difference between thinking and spiraling. Productive thinking leads to decisions. Overthinking leads to paralysis. Productive thinking has a time limit. Overthinking repeats without resolution. If you've thought about something for hours and still haven't taken action, you're not solving it. You're feeding it. One of the most dangerous lies overthinking tells you is this: if I think about it enough, I'll find certainty. But life does not offer certainty. There is always risk. There is always unknown. The attempt to eliminate uncertainty through thought is like trying to empty the ocean with a cup. It cannot be done, and the harder you try, the more frustrated you become. The Bible offers a completely different strategy. Instead of trying to control the future with your mind, it teaches surrender. Cast your cares. That word cast implies throwing something away from you, releasing it, not gripping it tightly. Overthinking is gripping mentally. Peace is releasing mentally. Here is something powerful to understand. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. If you can notice a thought, that means there is a separation between you and it. That separation is power. The moment you realize this is just a thought, you weaken its authority. So how do you actually stop overthinking in real life? First, you must interrupt the pattern. When you notice yourself spiraling, don't try to argue with the thought immediately. Simply label it. Say internally, "This is overthinking." Labeling creates distance. Studies show that when you name an emotional state, activity in the emotional centers of the brain decreases. Awareness weakens intensity. Second, ask a grounding question. Is this happening right now? Most of the time, the answer is no. You are imagining a future event or replaying a past one. This question forces your brain back into the present moment, where your body is usually safe. Third, shift from analysis to action. If there is something you can do, do it. Take one small step. Send the message. Research the solution. Write the plan. If there is nothing you can do, then continued thinking will not help. Release it. Overthinking survives in inaction. Movement disrupts it. Another hidden cause of overthinking is perfectionism. You're afraid to choose wrong, afraid to be judged, afraid to fail publicly. So you delay decisions by thinking more. But perfection is an illusion. Every successful person has made imperfect decisions. Confidence does not come from endless analysis. It comes from action and adjustment. Children rarely overthink. They attempt, they fall, they try again. That's why childlike faith is powerful. It's not ignorance, it's trust. Trust that even if something goes wrong, you will adapt. You've done it before. Think about your past. There were moments you thought you wouldn't survive. Situations that felt overwhelming. And yet here you are. You handled them. Maybe not perfectly, but effectively enough to move forward. Overthinking forgets your resilience. It convinces you that the next challenge will destroy you, even though previous ones didn't. Here's another truth. Silence amplifies spirals. The longer a thought stays trapped inside your head, the larger it becomes. Speaking it out loud often shrinks it. When you hear yourself say a fear, it sometimes sounds irrational. That's because your mind exaggerates in private. The Bible speaks about renewing the mind. That doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means choosing what you dwell on. Whatever you repeatedly think about strengthens neural pathways in your brain. If you constantly rehearse worst-case scenarios, your brain becomes efficient at generating them. But if you practice redirecting to gratitude, solutions, and present awareness, those pathways strengthen instead. This doesn't happen instantly. It requires repetition. But every time you interrupt overthinking, you are training your brain. Imagine a different way of living. A thought appears. What if I fail? Instead of spiraling, you respond, if I fail, I will learn. A thought appears. What if they judge me? You respond, I cannot control their opinions. A thought appears. What if everything goes wrong? You respond, I will handle it when it happens. This is mental strength, not denial, not avoidance, but calm authority over your inner world. Peace is not the absence of thoughts. It is the mastery of them. And here's the deeper spiritual principle. Trust replaces overanalysis. When you trust that you are guided, supported, or capable of handling what comes, the need to mentally control every outcome decreases. Overthinking grows in environments of distrust. Distrust of the future, of others, of yourself. The more you build self-trust, the quieter your mind becomes. So here is your challenge. For the next 7 days, every time you catch yourself replaying, analyzing, or spiraling, pause and say, not helpful. Then redirect your attention to something real, your breathing, the sounds around you, the next task in front of you. This simple redirection, repeated consistently, rewires your mental habits. You will notice something surprising. Your mind may resist at first. It will try to pull you back into analysis. That's normal. Habits resist change, but the more you practice, the faster you recover from spirals. Eventually, they shorten. Then they weaken. Then they lose authority. Overthinking convinces you that thinking more will create clarity. But clarity often comes from stillness. Be still. Stillness is not laziness. It is mental discipline. It is the decision not to chase every thought that knocks on your door. You do not have to attend every argument your mind invites you to. You do not have to solve tomorrow today. You do not have to replay yesterday to prepare for the future. Your power exists only in this moment. Right now, as you're listening to this, nothing catastrophic is happening. Your mind may suggest otherwise, but your reality is calm. Return to it. Overthinking loses power when observed. It loses power when labeled. It loses power when redirected. And most importantly, it loses power when you realize you are stronger than your thoughts. If you're ready to stop living in mental loops and start living with calm focus, make a decision today. Not to eliminate thoughts, but to master them. Because peace isn't found by predicting every possible future. It's found by trusting yourself in the present. Comment clear mind if you're ready to take control back. And for the next 7 days, practice catching your thoughts instead of becoming them. Your mind can be your greatest tool, but only when you're the one holding it.